Illegal mining has become a pervasive issue in numerous communities. Vast forested lands have become obliterated, leaving water bodies clouded with toxic heavy metals. The widespread devastation has deeply affected many. Panelists at the JoyNews National Dialogue on illegal mining passionately address the severity of this menace. The Chamber of Mines thinks the country is under siege.
Ladies and gentlemen, our environment is under siege. No two ways about it.
Even government institutions like the Forestry Commission consider the activities of illegal miners as an ecological disaster.
In brief, I would say what we saw was an ecological disaster. And this is not something we should countenance as a country.
Executive Director of Water Aid, Irabna Yanye Akufu, agrees.
What is happening in Galamsey affected areas is an extreme act of violence against our water resources. It is a hydrocide. This is genocide against generations, and silence only aids our oppressors.
Dr. Bob Mantel from the Center for Climate Change at the University of Ghana emphasized that the core issue lies in government's failure.
The problem we face is a governance failure and a collective action failure.
Small-scale mining has been around for several years. 34 years ago, there were less than 100,000 people involved. Now, the industry supports more than 3 million people. Martin Ayisi is the CEO of the Minerals Commission.
Safe, as the lawyers will say, I'm one of them, Greater Accra, Volta, and Oti, where I come from. And it's a matter of time. I'm seeing gold in Oti. I see the data every day. And then you move from 50 to 100,000 people to now an activity that supports 3 million, directly and indirectly.
The impact of Galamsey on the environment is far-reaching. Professor Frimpong Boateng highlights that the soil yield in mining areas has significantly diminished.
So we also have loss of biodiversity. There's physical danger, apart from the physical danger to humans and animals. Maybe you fall in pits and get drowned. We have polluted land farms, farmlands, loss of edibles such as mushrooms, snails, wild yams, plantain and bananas.
The water bodies have turned murky, laden with heavy metals from illegal mining operations that use them for gold extraction. Despite this, the Ghana Water Company asserts its commitment to maintaining stringent quality standards. Stanley Marte speaks for them.
There's no way we'll compromise on our integrity. There's no way we'll compromise on our quality standards. Now, currently, Ghana Water Company Limited is ISO compliant.
But CEO of the Minerals Commission asserted that he wouldn't permit his children to drink it.
I have drunk pipe-borne water all my life. Now I will not ask my 4 children to drink pipe-borne water. I have my doubts as to what Stanley was saying anyway, because I see some of the things that come out.
The Forestry Commission, for the first time, admitted that over 30 forest reserves across the nation are currently being exploited by illegal miners. Hugh Brown represented the commission.
Out of our 288 forest reserves, 34 of them have issues with illegal mining. A number of them with excavators. I think since May, 2 more have come to join, so we are now around 36 forest reserves.
He says the commission is not equipped to deal with the armed miners who protect some of these mining sites.
Last year, November 1st, the military detachment was withdrawn. So, I mean, I'm the executive director of the Forest Services Division. It's my task.
Just so we know, on whose orders?
I wouldn't know.
The Forest Commission was not communicated to?
No, we're told they were undertaking some exercise to clean up the system because there were some lapses. And they are not back yet. We've been persistently asking for that support.
On December 4, 2023, a well-known Galamsey kingpin, Aisha Wan, was convicted for mining offenses after years of litigation. She was only sentenced to 4.5 years in prison, in addition to a fine of 48,000 Ghana cedis. Professor Frimpong Boateng says she should have been sentenced to a minimum of 15 years.
I believe that the law was changed, and the minimum sentence was supposed to be 15 years. So that's what I know.
Martin Ayisi says we need more of such convictions to deter people from indulging in illegal mining.
We need to see more of the Aisha one. Okay? That's number one. So this one lady, they have to be arrested, taken to the trial, and then we must see that people are being punished.
The consensus among the panelists and attending guests is unanimous. The issue of illegal mining must be brought to an end. Muhammad Adam Suparu, the Member of Parliament for Sisala West constituency and a member of the Lands Committee in Parliament, stressed that acknowledging the country's failure is the first step towards solving this critical issue.
We have failed our people. We have failed as leaders. We must admit that we have failed. Then we start looking out for solutions.
Dr. Ken Ashigbe, the convener of the Media Coalition Against Illegal Mining, emphasized that the trial and error approach extensively used in illegal small-scale mining needs to become a thing of the past.
We need to now insist that small-scale mining would only happen in places that we've done the surveys in, and that the trial that we are doing would have to stop.
Okay.
That should we, and finally, my senior brother AC says that there's no law that says you can't mine in forest reserves. We should insist that Parliament passes a law that places of global, what did they even say? Global significant biodiversity areas should not be mined at. So we should ensure that there is an explicit law that says that that should not happen.
Okay.
And finally,
Hugh Brown, speaking on behalf of the Forestry Commission, advocated for providing illegal miners with more lucrative alternative livelihoods to steer them away from illegal mining sites.
And I believe going forward, we need to see how best, first of all, number one, we can strengthen law enforcement. How we can get all these sectors who are supposed to be there to enforce the laws and undertake prosecutions to work in tandem. We need to identify and implement alternative livelihood schemes.
Dr. Frimpong Boateng suggested that the Ministry of Agric could initiate planting certain crops like sunflower and cabbages, which have the capability to absorb heavy metals.
So I said that it would be very dangerous to eat vegetables, especially salads, greens, from mining areas because of the pollution. And that is why we do what we call phytoremediation. And I think the Ministry of Agriculture should think about these things. We need to plant certain things that to absorb or take out the poison, the metals in the body. So we know that if you plant sunflower, it will absorb magnesium and chromium. Broccoli, cabbage and broccoli will take care of lead, zinc, and cadmium. So also water lettuce, which will absorb cadmium, mercury, chromium, and copper.
But how do we end all of this once and for all? Professor Frimpong Boateng has an interesting answer.
So the radical solution is that people, big people, green journalists who are involved should stop.
Okay.
And then
okay. How do we make them stop? How do we make them stop?
I wish maybe we could shoot them all them up. I don't know.